Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited. Here we are with Daniel Chiang, right from Toronto, Canada. And Daniel and I were just chatting. He's right in the middle of heading into winter, 1 degree centigrade. And I'm heading for a bright summer day, 32 degrees centigrade. So, Daniel, it's so good to have you from around the world. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to connect with you because a lot of the people that will be listening to this program will have a lot of great insights that I know you're going to share from what we've just chatted. So, first of all, why don't you share with us how you got introduced to network marketing?
The very first time that I was introduced to it was back in university. And my friend Bryant basically gathered a bunch of us and he said, guys, you got to come over to my place. And he had the whiteboard and a marker. And it was the most unbelievable thing that I'd ever seen. And I was just like, no way. And, being 18 years old, I was just like, money, money, money. The thing was that there was no follow through on it.
Right.
And it kind of just died away. However, I understood that business was a key, right? Like, because I understood Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, and I was just like, okay, two thumbs up. I am going to get into business for myself. So strange enough, in university, I started my own consulting company and made a few $100,000 in my first few years. Stopped going to school, but that network marketing side was always in my mind. Just thinking that I'm still trading my time for fun, and I got to get to the other place where I'm building a team. And so just a few years after that, I got introduced to another big business, worldwide business, and I got involved with that. And I think I stuck in there for about a decade and learned so much, so much.
That's awesome. I mean, you've got quite a bit of experience on hand. So, just before we go into Pajama Bosses and the 70 to 1K program, and I think you've got another program from us too,
Mm-hmm.
but I really want you to share with everyone, all the up and coming Pajama Bosses who probably got maybe less experience than you. What was your main challenge in your business, in your network marketing business, just before you got the program?
You know what? We built some serious success in the first year and a couple of months of the business. We made tens of thousands of dollars, and we built the team to many, many hundreds of people. But the thing was that we started to notice that it was flatlining. And I'm a very technical kind of a person, and I love to analyze systems and processes, and I like to optimize things. That's what was, when I used to work in the corporate world, that was my job, optimizing processes. And I thought that I could reinvent the wheel. I thought that I could completely make a brand new way to build a network marketing business by not having to do network marketing. And because that would make people feel more comfortable and they would like me more and so forth. And you know what? I did well. But as I started looking at it a few weeks ago, I started looking at my business numbers. I started to flatline about a half a year ago. And it literally stayed almost the same, minor increases by maybe 4 or 5% on a monthly basis. But I was just like, well, you know what? As an analyst, flatlining is actually not good. And so I just started looking out there, and I knew that at the end of the day, me spending all of this time trying to create a new system was completely the wrong way to do it. And so I had to get back down to, floor one and start to build a business as if I was brand new. And to be honest with you, I cannot remember for the life of me how I came across Pajama Bosses, but I saw it and I was just like, number one, Pajama Bosses. Oh my gosh. I was like, that's what I want, right? And then number two, when I started to see like the energy from your videos and Miguel's videos, like I was just like, I like this crew. They're really authentic and they look like they have pure integrity. Okay, now let me look at the products that they have, because I always believe that a successful business, people always have to act with an integrity, and it comes top down. And so when I saw all of your videos, I was like, okay, this has got to be something here. And so I just said, hey, looked at the product in the program. I said, that's exactly what I'm looking for. This ground level, easy to implement, simple to do. Let's just do it. So that's how I got started with your program.
That's great. And we'll go more into that in a second. But what you said, I really want to point it out to everyone who's listening to this, because, you came from, more than 10 years experience in network marketing. And what I really hear from what you've just said is you're so humble. You're so humble saying, I've built some success. I know how to do this, but I'm going to really go and see what I'm missing. So I think, if everyone can just hear that distinction, this is really key because and one other thing that really came across really well, and I thank you for that, is, there's certain skills in network marketing that transcend time and space. And this is something that we come across so often around the world as we travel. People think that in their country, network marketing is just negative and it doesn't work. Or perhaps, in the online world, we need to all do things different because all the old stuff doesn't work. But you're so right. There's some basic skills and basic simple step-by-step things that will just transcend time and space. So, I think you, with your experience and being so humble, not reinventing the wheel, if people could just hear that and always just keep doing more of what they're already doing that they're successful in, that would be so good. What you said is so key. So that's really cool. And yes, you're seeing that your business now, you want to go to the new level and you're going to implement some systems and so on. So when you went through the 70 to 1K program, which is our kind of a starter program, what is it that you thought was the best advice and that you can implement together with your team? Because of course, it's not that you don't know this information with all of your experience. It's about, how can you now pass this on to your team? So how did you feel about that?
You know what? Network marketing is 100 times more simple than what people think it is. And for me, as I went through the modules, that's what I saw. I saw simplicity. And I was the exact opposite end before seeing the program. I was like, trying to make it as complicated as possible, which was in a way simple. But with the 7-day to 1,000 program, it was, 3 modules done. And there was no rush. It's just like, okay, well, this is the first step. This is what you're going to do. I'll talk to you in a couple of days. Okay. Then you listen to this audio. So that's the big key, is that it is a groundwork type of a process, but it's so simple. And because you've modularized it, that's what makes it work. That's truly what makes it work. And as I said, I've built my list in the past and I've done contacts and I've done all of these different things. But at the end of the day, I didn't do it that way. So from a teachability perspective, as a leader within a network marketing organization, all of a sudden it's just like, guys, this is so simple. And look what I did. That's really what it comes down to.
Excellent. That's really key. And what you're saying about we were just chatting just before, and you're saying, we were trying to develop a way where people will feel comfortable. And I guess, we all come into this profession, and at various points in our profession, we keep going back to, this is not comfortable, and we're developing new skills, and we're trying to do it better and so on. But I guess what it comes down to, and I think this is what you're realizing, is, no matter how the other person is reacting, you're kind of on your own path. And your own path, most of us as pajama bosses, is really to establish a residual income that will take care of us so we can work in our pajamas. To do that, however, we really have to just keep on our course, stay true to who we are. And I was just saying to you earlier, even if people react negatively because you are approaching them from a business opportunity standpoint, I think that, all that we have to do in that case is perhaps go through bigger numbers. And so, I think that will be really key for your team as you're going forward. So, no matter what you do, maybe it's a little more, uncomfortable, but if it gives results, probably more worthwhile, don't you think?
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's all about not judging. It's all about simply checking your ego at the door. Yeah. And literally just, for people who are brand new to their business, just starting as if, you have, obviously you're learning as a brand new person, but if you're in the business for as long as I have been in it, again, forget all of that, start again from scratch. And what I'm starting to see is that, number one, I'm finding that energy and that excitement back again. And this is something that I know is what's duplicatable, because if I feel that way, due to the simplicity and due to the organization, I know that everybody else will do the same thing as well.
That's awesome. And you're saying you had your first big meeting after going through the program you implement, and you had your first big meeting.
I did. As I said, the company that I'm with, the network marketing side's been around for a couple of years. I've been in it for about 14, 15 months. But in my city of Toronto, we haven't had any regular meetings. But deciding to have more of the business focus rather than the product-based focus was, I mean, that kind of came in the exact same time in alignment with the Pajama Bosses programs. But it's just like, okay, get back to the system. The system is what works. And yes, we just did our event a couple of nights ago, and it was a great turnout. And we had, a good number of people just basically saying, "I'm in," and it was strange for us because as I was kind of sharing with some of the leaders of the group, and I said, guys, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do a business focus. A lot of them were pushing back and saying, no, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with that. And I said, please, if you've trusted me in the past, trust me this one time, and let's see how this goes. And they all loved it.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. And so what are you kind of looking ahead? What sort of systems are you looking to implement, or what's your next 12 months, 2015 going to look like in your team?
Well, 2015 is going to be a massive year. It's going to be, I'm actually kind of developing not a program, but like kind of an initiative for the entire group called the Best Year Ever. And that's literally what it's going to be. We're going to be setting our commitments, setting not our goals, but our commitments. And we're going to be following a very specific set of simple tasks. And really, it's at the end of the day, it's just 8 steps, right?
Absolutely. And I love what you said. You're setting expectations about commitment, which is all about, it's actually activity focused rather than result focused. And this is really key in network marketing, because a lot of us set goals and we want to have a certain result. But if we don't realize that it's really all about committing to the process, we may get very easily disappointed because we don't reach results on time. We all know that. It always takes longer than we expect and so on. But if we stay in the process and commit to the action for a certain amount of time, the law of averages takes care of all of us. And so, if you do 100 phone calls in a week, some people will join. There's just no way around it, right?
Exactly. And one of the big things for year 2015 and the remaining of 2014 is that I'm going to be removing the word goal from our vocabularies. I've always had a challenge with the word goal, but I just started listening to a podcast and I forgot what it was named, but he defined the difference between a goal and a commitment. And he said simply this. He said, so imagine that you're telling your partner or your spouse or whoever they are that, it is my goal to be with you forever.
What if it doesn't happen? Feel, right? It's almost like, what if it doesn't happen?
Exactly. But if you say it to the other person, it's like, it is my commitment to be with you forever. Completely changes the whole name of the game, right? And so, so we're going to be working on commitments rather than anything. So activity.
That's awesome. So just to finish this interview off, what would you say to a brand new person that enters your team? What is your best advice? May not be about recruiting, maybe something about mindset, but what do you think is the most key for a brand new person entering our profession?
It always starts with the why. You have to understand what are your goals, what are your visions, and get clear on that. Mm-hmm. And once you figure that out, the rest is just easy. If your goal is to finish high school, great. Yep. You're going to if your commitment is to finish high school. Then what is the next commitment? What's the next commitment? But if your commitment is to get out of the situation that you're in, because you've been doing that for the past 5 years, and you got into the place where you're at, what do you need to change in order to be able to do that? And why do you want that? And so really that's what it comes down to, is I've been just telling people, starts with the why.
Absolutely. And so do you want to share with everyone what your big reason why is? If it's not too personal, if it's a bit something that you can share.
My why, I don't have, here it is. This is my why, I'll show you.
That's wonderful.
That's my why.
That is beautiful.
I do everything for my family, my wife and kids. I just picked up my boys from school. They go to private school, and they've been in private school for many years. And then the last year I put them in public just to see what it would be like to integrate them. And they didn't have such a great time. And so today at school, I picked them up and I said, hey guys, do you like your school now? And they were like, yeah, it's a lot better, Dad. Thank you. And I know inside that's because I've been able to increase my income, to be able to say, it's like, I could put them in school before network marketing, before this business that I've been making the money. But now it's like the money that I'm making is more than enough paying for their school. And we're locking money away for, higher education. And that's what I do this business for. They're my why.
Yeah, that's awesome. And having so many more options and time with them, and eventually just wearing your pajama, I suppose.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm choosing my pajama pattern.
I think we should make it a rule on this interview is everyone wears their favorite pajama.
I think we have to. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Daniel, I really thank you for your time. You've given us a lot of value. I hope people have listened because you've really given them some golden nuggets. So wish you really all the best of success with your team and your journey. And, is there something final you want to share with everyone?
Really, guys, just go out there with all your heart, all your passion, and just know that you're being in service to others and doing everything you can. And that's all I have to say.
That's pretty good advice. Thanks so much, Daniel. Bye to
Thank you.
Toronto for now.
Bye.
Take care.